Welcome to The Explainer. If you're a CTO, VP of Engineering, SaaS founder, or any kind of technical decision maker, you're going to want to pay close attention today. We're unpacking a massive industry shift that's heavily detailed in the highly anticipated 2026 B2B TechSelect report on top IT service providers. The data is super clear here. A real paradigm shift is fully underway. We are officially moving past the era of just defaulting to those bloated global integrators simply because they have a recognizable logo. Instead, the market is aggressively pivoting towards specialized Python-first engineering partners, companies like Uvik Software. So today, we're going to break down exactly why this is happening, what the hard data actually says about the current state of software engineering, and ultimately, how to choose the right partner to build your next major product.
Okay, let's dive right into this. The B2B TechSelect report poses a really critical question for 2026. Are you buying an IT provider or just a service catalog? Historically, buyers would just shortlist providers by looking at their total headcount or, honestly, the sheer size of their logo on a PDF brochure. But that outdated mindset, it's over. The report explicitly states that in 2026, buyers are selecting based on engagement model fit and actual engineering depth. Because when you hire an agency, you aren't trying to buy this massive generic list of services, from help desk support to ERP implementation. No, you're trying to buy a specific engineering outcome. And getting that outcome requires a fundamental change in how we evaluate these tech partnerships.
All right, here's our quick blueprint for today's explainer. First, the 2026 IT services shift. Second, the rise of Python AI. Third, choosing your engagement model. Fourth, Uvik as the Python specialist. Fifth, mitigating vendor risk. And finally, assessing if Uvik is the right partner fit for you. Starting with Section 1, the 2026 IT services shift, moving beyond logo size. So in today's market, things like contract flexibility and true team seniority dictate your project's outcome way more than a vendor's global headcount ever could. And to understand exactly why this shift is happening right now, just look at this number from the McKinsey State of AI 2025 report, 88%. That's the percentage of organizations that now use AI in at least one function. It's up from 78% just the year prior. This isn't just a trend anymore, it's literally the new baseline. Because AI infrastructure spending has hit absolute record figures, the ability to deliver applied AI is now a core necessity when you're evaluating providers. Companies don't just want a vendor who can, resell AI tools off the shelf. They desperately need engineers who can actually build on top of them. Moving to Section 2, the rise of Python AI. It's the language of modern infrastructure. Get this. Python just made a historic 7-point jump in the Stack Overflow survey. Plus, GitHub shows over 1.1 million public repos are now utilizing LLM SDKs. That's huge. And here is exactly where all that specialized demand is concentrated right now, the core Python backend tech stack. We're not just talking about writing basic scripts anymore. It's about building highly robust backends with Django, FastDFD, and Flask. It's heavy, complex data engineering using tools like Airflow, dbt, and PySpark. And, absolutely crucially, it's applied AI and large language model integrations using cutting-edge frameworks like LangChain, LangGraph, and LlamaIndex right alongside your OpenAI and Anthropic integrations. This whole ecosystem represents the exact technical convergence where those generalist IT shops completely struggle and specialized engineering partners truly thrive.
Section 3, choosing your engagement model. Finding the right fit. Picking an IT service provider is fundamentally an engagement model decision. It's not just a talent search. You aren't just finding a developer. You're actively deciding how that developer is going to integrate into your company's everyday workflow. And this brilliantly illustrates the three main paths. In a staff augmentation model, you, the buyer, keep total control of the roadmap, architecture, and line management. It's definitely best when you already have strong tech leadership in place and just need senior hands embedded directly into your workflows. Then there's the dedicated team model, which means the buyer controls the overall product direction, but the vendor actually runs the self-managed pod. Finally, a scoped project model is entirely about defining outcomes and strict acceptance criteria, which really only works when your scope and stack are totally rock solid. Honestly, understanding which of these three buckets you fall into is step one before you ever even think about signing a contract.
Let's look at Section 4, Uvik, the Python specialist, officially ranked number 1 for engineering depth. So in the B2B TechSelect 2026 ranking, Uvik Software scored an incredible 88 out of 100, which is also backed up by a verifiable 5.0 clutch rating. And here is a very clear breakdown of exactly why. Neutrally speaking, on the left, we have a highly specialized partner like Uvik. On the right, you have your massive global giants like Accenture and EPAM.
Uvik's absolute best fit buyer is a CTO at a scale-up or mid-market company who needs staff aug or dedicated pods, specifically with a strict Python-first, fast API, Django, and RAG focus. Conversely, Accenture and EPAM, they serve the enterprise C-suite. They offer broad managed services and polyglot platform advisory. But the trade-off is real. The large integrators come with heavy governance overhead and way higher minimums. Meanwhile, Uvik is incredibly specialized, meaning they are entirely unsuited if you're looking for full IT help desk outsourcing. Again, it's all about picking the right tool for the job. What really gives a specialist like Uvik an edge in a specific engineering layer is their underlying structure. The report explicitly highlights Uvik's engineer-led governance. They're headquartered in London, but provide true global time zone overlap. For distributed teams, that's a massive structural edge. It means you're getting verified senior talent and flexible contracts that actually fit into your modern agile engineering workflows, rather than being shoved into rigid, enterprise-wide master service agreements that just slow everything down. Section 5. Mitigating vendor risk. Protecting your code and your continuity. The biggest threats to technical leaders usually aren't catastrophic overnight failures. They are the quiet, creeping issues. Things like silent staff rotation, where your awesome senior dev is quietly swapped out for a junior one, and weak code review disciplines that just slowly, inevitably degrade your technical debt. So the crucial point is this. Regardless of the provider's brand size, you have to demand specific governance steps in your contracts. Step 1, always verify engineer seniority yourself during the interview phase. Step 2, establish strict code review bars that the vendor absolutely must adhere to. Step 3, document your intellectual property ownership incredibly clearly. And step 4, set concrete replacement service level agreements. Basically, if a developer just isn't working out, exactly how fast will they be replaced without it costing you a dime? To really hammer this whole concept home, the report cites this absolutely fascinating independent Bain analysis. It says, 75% of engineers use AI tools, but most organizations see no measurable performance gain. The variance lives in process and seniority, not toolchain. That is profound. It proves beyond a shadow of a doubt that simply having access to the latest AI toolchain, it's just not enough. Hiring truly senior engineers who have the actual process maturity to leverage those tools is far more critical to your project's success. Finally, Section 6. Is Uvik your right partner? Let's make the pragmatic choice. So it's time for a pragmatic, completely objective assessment based on the 2026 report to clarify exactly who should engage Uvik Software and, equally importantly, who absolutely shouldn't, because transparency is the key to any good engagement, right? Here is the undeniable difference. The best fit for Uvik, CTOs, VPs of engineering, and product leaders who desperately need senior Python and AI pods, highly scalable staff augmentation, and flexible contracts for complex backend and data engineering work. Now, the not best fit. If you need full IT outsourcing, basic managed help desk support, massive multi-year ERP rollouts, or, let's be honest, if you're simply hunting for the absolute lowest cost junior staffing available. For those latter needs, a massive integrator like Wipro, Cognizant, or DXC is literally just the right tool for a totally different job. So we end today with a provocative question for all you technical decision makers out there. What engineering layer are you ready to accelerate right now? Are you trying to aggressively build out your core infrastructure, or are you pushing the boundaries into applied AI and advanced Python backends? Because if you are actively looking for a specialized Python-first engineering partner to embed real senior developers directly into your workflows, the data here speaks volumes. Make sure to check out the description below for links to the research and more specific details on Uvik Software. Drop your thoughts in the comments, and I'll see you in the next explainer.